Introduction.
So, for the preparation of the pepper, we want to remove a section of it. So, you just this. Very simple, and you just remove the seeds from what you cut out. So after you've separated this bit of the pepper out, you just going to cut it into 3 sections. And then you chop these 3 bits into smaller individual pieces.
Red bell peppers are a great source of vitamin C and A, which are antioxidants that help defend against free radicals and prevent the risk of disease.
So set these pieces aside into a bowl of your choice because we're going to be frying it later and using it for a source of vegetables inside of the rice. So don't mess up like me and pour some on the table. As with any rice dish, you have to, boil some water. So have a pot of water on the stove at medium to maybe high heat, just until it starts steaming, starts boiling. And then you can pick your serving size of rice. For this, I'm going to be eating it for dinner today and also bringing it to school tomorrow. So we're going to be using 1.5 cups of the rice. So we're going to be using Tilda's Grand Extra Long Basmati rice because it's the one in our house. I don't feel like going to the store to buy rice today, honestly. So yeah, as I previously mentioned, 1.5 cups of this rice. So you measure that out.
This good old basmati rice will be our main source of whole grains, which in our diet provides fiber, B vitamins, there are a lot of them, so I don't want to list them out, and iron, which are all essential for, not being dead. Woo!
So after you've rinse your rice multiple times for multiple takes, you put it into your already pre-boiled pot of water. This one is very boiling, as you can see here. So our main source of protein is going to be this chicken breast. It was cut into 2. Normally it's supposed to be 1, but I'm already cut into 2, so great. So you want to cut it into small pieces, but not the same size as like the red pepper that I showed earlier. So you start with horizontal cutting. You don't want yours to be freezing, so it's like an easier job at cutting this, at least the first go around. Then cut it into adequately, but still fairly small slices.
The Canada Food Guide would recommend you use more, plant-based proteins, but I'm a carnivore and I want to feel blood in my mouth, so we're using chicken breast here, which is good because it's a good source of lean protein with having a relatively lower fat. Also, as a protein, it's great for getting B vitamins, iron, zinc, and magnesium.
Cooking advice that. So with this chicken that we just cut, we're going to stir fry it and then add it to our overall meal. But for stir frying, we need to grab some oil. So I will do just that. For this, you use vegetable oil, and yeah, we're going to be stir frying this cut into pieces chicken. It's protein of our choice, but if you feel like using a different protein, such as like shrimp or maybe even meat, if that's your deal, go for it. This is our main source of protein, so we should have at least one. So for our stir fry, we're going to be using, obviously, to get the food groups in, some vegetables. We're going to add, obviously, the red pepper that we cut earlier. This one is like a really small amount, so you can add more if you want to be more vegetables and follow a food group more effectively. But we're going to be adding peas and some corn.
Peas are a great source of fiber in your diet.
When we're stir frying it, we're going to, when the chicken is basically half finished cooking or half finished stir frying, we're going to be adding this along with salt and pepper and then the seasoning of your choice.
Guess I forgot to mention that corn is a plant-based protein. Huh?
So, obviously you gotta add the oil so that, nothing sticks to the pan. And for this we're gonna be using 1 tablespoon of oil. So let's measure that out real quickly. So first step of the stir fry is, putting the stuff you're going to stir fry into the pot of your choice. And by all of your choice I mean medium-sized pot, because there are no choices here at all. Beware of potential splashing if you're like me and bad at cooking. And also separate it so they're not like right next to each other, so they can all fry equally. So remember to mix around your thing like forcefully, because you want them all to be like separated. And also, if the tablespoon of oil seems like a little bit too small, feel free to add a little bit more if you need it, if you feel that it is necessary at all, because you don't want your chicken or protein of choice to stick to the pan. So, after you stir it around a little bit, now you add the salt and pepper, black pepper specifically for our case. These are not the correct cases. Don't ask questions about it. Yeah, just sprinkle it like. Like a lot. You'd say a lot. I'm a bit more timid when it comes to putting spices on because I'm not a cook. But you gotta be violent with it, Gotta make sure the bits are. Then you gotta stir this around for more, so all the spices that you just put on will actually, attach to all the different cubes of protein that you added into your stir fry. So after 2 minutes of like stir frying and always stir frying and stirring, obviously, you can add your vegetables. So we use all of our red pepper. All of it. A good, like really large portion of your peas. And some of your corn, because my mom wants to use this for later. Then you gotta stir all these together as well. It seems as if our rice is basically finished, so when you find a good time to stop stir frying your regular stir fry, you can go sieve your rice into sieve off your rice, and then so you can save it for later for the next step of the cooking process. After you've stirred your vegetables and chicken thoroughly, you can turn the fire off and cover up your thing so you can cover up your pot so you can start steaming it for later. Okay, so now you want to sieve off your rice, obviously, because you don't want to be eating water while you're cooking, like when in your final dish. So place your pot somewhere that won't burn, and just jiggle your rice around a couple so all the water leaves. So, I was wrong 2 times in a row, as usual. So you put it on like something to so it's not on countertop and burning, just like put the sieve on top of the pot so it seeps into the pot. Not on the sink, not on like any other surface, because we are not dumb. So, for one to, not want to eat extremely bland rice, extremely bland white rice. So for the sauce for our rice, we're going to be using this brand of noodles, Mr. Noodles. I don't know where we got it. It was just in our pantry for some reason. So we're going to be using the sauce packet in here, as well as adding this noodles into our dish. So for this, we're going to be crushing this and then adding it to. Okay, we're just going to be cooking it as we would normal noodles. You're free to crush it with your hand, or if you're lazy, like I normally am, you would use like a blunt object with high density. After it's been crushed sufficiently, you can, open it and then pour it into a pot and then cook it like you would normal noodles. So, gonna cook it, listen. Okay, we're gonna cook it just like normal noodles. Don't spill your water, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of water, just a teensy, well not a teensy bit, but like a decent, slower amount of water on medium heat on your stove top. And we just want to pouring you in there. Not the sauce packet, obviously, because we're going to be using that for the rest of our cooking extravaganza.
Don't forget the egg. I'm adding egg here. It's a good source of protein. And protein's always nice to have, especially if you're like me and hungry all the time.
We're going to be adding our noodle sauce to the noodles that we've been cooking earlier. You know, normal stuff. So we're going to take off the cover of the stir fry that we've been steaming for the past, I don't know how long. We're going to move it into like a bowl plate, set it aside for later because we're going to be using the same pot to cook our egg, which we're going to add because, you know, we want eggs in our food. So, you know, after you've taken it off and added the oil to your medium pot, wait till it's, you know, a little bit hot, which for us it still is, considering, you know, it was just on the fire a couple minutes ago, so we can just add our egg into it. And don't forget to take your noodles off of the fire once, you know, it's cooked. Obviously, you don't want to burn them. And yeah, we're going to be waiting for a bit to let this egg become a little bit more set, but not fully set, because we're going to be adding it to our stir fry into this. So once the egg has been a little bit set, this one's been a bit more than a little bit set because we had a little bit of complications. But yeah, you add your rice into the egg. All of your rice, by the way. Try to, like, you know, make it a little bit more separated. That's a lot of rice. Jesus. Don't have to be fully with it. Then you have to add your noodles, which you've taken off the heat, obviously. I'm gonna stir this around as well a little bit, so you know it's like more mixed. The rice will overpower the noodles, but it's fine. It's just light sauce, so it's not like fully like drowning in sauce. Like only 2 or maybe even 1 if you're not cooking as much as I am right now would be enough sauce packets for this. And then obviously you want to add your stir-fried chicken and vegetables for, you know, protein. And then you want to mix these together and then for about like what? Around 5 minutes for our purposes. And yeah, that'll be your chicken stir fry with red peppers, or fried rice, chicken fried rice with red peppers, corn, peas, and egg. After you've mixed it around for a decent amount so it's like all homogeneous, I messed up, my eggs are a little bit too big. Should have stirred it earlier and more thoroughly. But yeah, after you've stirred it so it's a little bit more homogeneous, you cover it up and wait for about like 5 minutes as I said earlier. And then you actually have your chicken fried rice with red pepper, corn, peas, and egg. So, we are here. It's basically done. We're just going to dish it later. We're here with Mother, special guest, helped me with cooking this because I can't cook, to talk about what we did wrong and what we could do better next time. So, first off, too much rice.
Yeah.
Too much rice.
Really too much rice.
Especially like in comparison with the amount of chicken that we made, like chicken stir fry, it's just too much rice. So if you're if you want more protein or more vegetables, as is outlined by the like Alberta Food Guide, you want to like reduce the amount of rice, maybe increase the amount of vegetables, and maybe the amount of protein as well if you want more protein in your diet.
So yeah, that's it. The fried rice taste is okay. The pepper and the salt, they are just okay, but the problem is that too much rice, the rice overpowers every other sauce. That's just what I noticed there.
And that's a cooking video by me and her. And Priscilla's also here. Say hi. left it on a little bit too long, I'll be honest. So we did our masterpiece. Love that. Into a plate. You know, as much as you want to eat. And show you the finished product later. A little bit might be burned because I left it on for a bit too long, but that's a problem for someone else. Make sure in your servings you want to grab like a decent like spread of the vegetables, the rice, the chicken. If you're like me and did it wrong, you want to when cooking it again, add more of the foods you mentioned groups apart from rice because too much rice, obviously. But yeah. I'm gonna saving this for tomorrow at school. So if any of you ever see me in the cafeteria eating this, it looks pretty bland, I'll be honest. If any of you see me in the cafeteria eating this, know that I made it unlike anything else I eat at school ever.